I know I've shown this before, but some people that haven't watched it want to see. I'm edging some boards today. I don't have very many to do. These are the first cuts off the log that are actually sawn on two sides. See, like that board there, it's got bark on two edges. This one's the same way. And we run them through this machine. This is a real steel board edger. It has, I fixed it up with a 15 horsepower electric motor. It had a little Honda 13 gas on it. And I'll shut it off to show you what the workings on it looks like. You can see it's got tapes there and a pointer. It's fixed up so you can change the width of the board. It has one blade fixed and one that moves with that handle on the back side. It has powered in-feed roll here and a powered out-feed roll down under there. It pulls the board through, and then it's got two blades on the same shaft. You can see it, they fixed that one up to where you can move it. We have run it in one place making 3.5-inch boards so long that it probably wouldn't move very easy. So I'll try to set you up here where you can watch a little bit of this. I don't know how that's going to work, but maybe see what kind of luck I have here. So you can see kind of how that goes, and that did stop the board from going all the way through like this. Once it spins out, it takes a little bit to get it going. That's pretty interesting wood right there. That is blackjack oak. We don't advertise to get it. But the boys and I were cutting some firewood logs and cut that down, and it was hard on both ends, and they will work for pallet lumber. So that's what board edging looks like. If I've got somebody to catch, we can run through a couple hundred boards in less than an hour. I mean, we really get on pretty good. And that machine makes light work of it. Thanks for watching. This is our sawmill rig, the main one. This is a LT 40 Super hydraulic Woodmizer mill. It has a 25 horse electric motor on it. Scott's sawing up some red oak. We're just doing the same thing we almost always are doing, that's cutting pallet lumber. I'll try to get them down here today. He's able to make every cut pretty much be stuff that we can use in this pallet lumber we're selling. And the cut he's making there now is going to cut a board off that'll have to go through the edger. It'll be they call them a stringer board, 3.5 by 1.1 1/8 thick. see, we set our logs on some runs here so we can saw several before we have to move stuff. Got a cheap electric 1550 cubic foot blower over there on the wall. And then the gray box behind that fan is a rotary phase converter. We don't have 3-phase, so we have to produce it, and that rotary phase converter produces it for us. This electric sawing is really efficient compared to sawing with gas or diesel. It doesn't cost much to run it this way. Here's a bundle of the pieces he's making. He'll have a bundle of them that's 10 foot wide, or 10 stacks wide, and those are just 9 foot, 8.5 foot long, 1.25 by 3.5 stringer board. He'll finish that one this morning and maybe get started on another one here this morning, and then this afternoon finish it with that and the stuff that he cut the day before will make us a load. That log had a rip spot on it where it busted when it fell. Probably had a big limb on it. And so what he's doing now, he's going to cut that in 3 chunks, looks like. And then he'll sand those pieces up and saw boards off from them. So all of the full-length pieces that's in that stack will go in, or that's in that log will go in that stack behind him. And we cut a lot of stuff kind of junky, big knots on it. Doesn't really seem to make a lot of difference because they cut all these in shorter pieces to use them. The hydraulics on the bed function on this is the cat's meow. It really works good. And he's a pretty good operator too, by the way. Some of you might wonder how they transmit the power from that motor through to hydraulics. That motor powers a big alternator. You can see it hanging off the side of it there. And it has a battery running on that head. And originally they had a contact strip where you had to have it all the way back here for that battery contact strip to contact onto another deal which powered the hydraulics. All the hydraulics on these are 12 volts. This one, because it's a super, has 2 12 volt pumps, and it's just basically double fast compared to the way that a normal LT40 hydraulic would be. He's going to saw down on those away so that he don't cut the pieces of junk off of that one, or the end of it's ripped into a whole bunch of different little pieces. Bigger chunks in our slabs is smarter. I said that it had a contact strip. We have run us a cable along with the motor cable that powers these hydraulics anywhere the head's at, which is really handy because when you got the head all the way back here, you can't always see exactly what it is you need to be doing down there. part of our sawing outfit. You can see got his slab right back here. There's not a incredible amount of heavy lifting because it comes back and will sit on that table right there. He can get one end of it to the stack that way. This is the older mill. I've actually owned that one we was just looking at. Is fourth band mill I've owned. I bought a Easy Boardwalk manual band mill to start with, used it for a couple of 3 years. Got to needing more lumber, and the only way I could see to do it faster was to get a hydraulic mill. And I bought this one pretty close to home, about 10 miles away, and it had a gas motor on it. This is a LT40, just was regular hydraulic, but it had a gas motor on it, and it was a 1994 model, I think. And I switched it over to a 15 horse electric several years ago, but it's still just a 1994 model, and it is hydraulic, but it doesn't have some of the functions that the other one has. And it had one hydraulic pump, so it made it slower, and speed wasn't that big of a deal, but I kept having trouble with those hydraulic pumps. The seal would go out on the back of them, or the motor would go out, or the pump would quit. And so I built one. You probably ain't gonna be able to see any of it, but it's on this little cart right here. That's the tank, and on the other side of that tank is a 3 horsepower compressor motor turning a little hydraulic pump through a Lovejoy connection. And you can see the lines run over here on the ground, and all of the pump and valves was made together, and the valves was closed centered, so I couldn't use them for an open centered setup like I put on here. So I used a loader valve, joystick loader valve, and another valve to run one other function. So we robbed some of the functions away, but the main ones on this work about the same speed as what the ones on the other mill do. This one though is a walk back and forth mill. It doesn't have drag back, so you cut what you can, slide it out of the way, scoot it out of the way. You can see we pile our slabs at the other end. We can pick one end of those up with the band and get them down there to it. And so it works all right. It's just a lot more exhausting to work, and I kind of keep it as a spare, a backup when we get in a bind and that other one quits us. Well, we've got this one we can run with, and I do run it sometimes. So but I also had bought another one that was just 3 months newer than this one, and was running 2 of them for a while, but it got to where all of the time I was just fixing on a mill or broke down with one of them, and I had a guy helping me that was running them, and it just seemed like always we was fixing something. And that was before I had this one fixed up on the hydraulic setup it's got now. And the other mill didn't have near as many hours on it, and we had put a newer gasoline motor on it. And when I figured out how efficient this one here was running on electric versus the one running on gas, and knowing I needed to up production, and then my son Scott, who's sawing with that one, has been working for me ever since. Probably almost a year before I bought that newer mill. I didn't buy brand new, I bought it used, and so he'd been sawing with me and helping me on that ever since. And with him being able to do that, why we're able to make the production we want to make at this level. So that's just a little bit about my sawmill operation. We're just kind of a small family operated sawmill. Sometimes if the weather gets down to -15, you can figure we're going to be sitting in the house and not sawing, and it don't hurt our feelings at all, and I don't freeze to death. So thanks for watching my videos. I appreciate you tuning in and subscribing. If you like the content I'm putting up, push the like, and be sure and leave me a comment. We like all comments. Appreciate getting to interact back and forth with you, and once again, just thanks for watching. Talk at you later.